it's Omicron. Falcon hates puns and thinks that they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie. Talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
Hello, and welcome to the podcast, Falcon.
Thank you, Somicron. Always good to be here for another episode of the Falcon Paladin Hour.
Yep, I'm not going to disagree with that.
For some reason, the quality in your stream today for me is set to 360p.
That's weird.
Super odd. I fixed it.
Okay.
It is now at 1440. So
Much better. Significantly.
I have no idea why the default was that for this time.
Who knows?
Which is weird.
Twitch has got some problems.
100%. So yeah, we were talking about this a bit before the pod, but like Utah apparently just skipped spring this year. Like it generally does this. We don't usually get a lot of time where it's just kind of nice, maybe rainy a little bit, but it's a pleasant temperature, but it's not freezing, but it's not hot, right? But maybe we'll get like a week or two. But this year, literally last week, it was 15 degrees below freezing. There was 2 feet of snow on my driveway. And now today, you'll notice I'm not wearing a hoodie, like for the first time in 6 months, because it is so hot. It was like 80 degrees outside today. It's yeah, it just went immediately from like, okay, winter and summer go. It's like, well,
It's trying to speed run the seasons, that's all.
I guess. I mean, hard to do what with the passage of time. I mean, I guess you could go like summer is a week, and then fall is a week, and then winter's a week, and then spring's a week, and then we just be back around where we started. That'd be very interesting. I don't know how likely that is, though, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no. Who knows? No.
Although,
I mean, is 80 really summer? Is it like hot for you there?
Yeah, 80, like the average, okay, average summer temperature, Salt Lake City. Yeah, I mean, the average in June is 83 degrees. In July, it gets up to 90.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, it's definitely hotter in, like, the middle of summer, but, you know, June is right around 80-something degrees there. So, yeah, this feels like a June summer day right now.
Well, not that far off, I suppose.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, it's not like max 90, 95, 100 degree day. I mean, not yet. Who knows what tomorrow will bring.
Yeah. Who knows? It's just 26 degrees Celsius. I don't know. So that's a nice day.
I know, but imagine going from, like, again, 15 degrees below freezing to 80 degrees Fahrenheit in 3 days. Like, it's, I don't know, shocking. It's jarring.
No, don't get me wrong. You should have temperature whiplash. I get that.
Yeah, okay.
Not arguing that point.
Yeah, and again, it's not a blazing hot, ridiculous summer. Like, I haven't turned the air conditioning on in the house. It's like, It's not summer for sure. That's all.
Yeah.
Anywho.
The
kids yesterday went from hooray, it's sunny and the snow is gone, to today being like, it's too sunny, it's too hot. It's like, okay, it's gonna be a long summer.
What if it snows again tomorrow? Like how? Like
I would not be surprised.
Really?
I don't. Again, okay. April is the trickster month for us.
Sure.
It could very easily snow tomorrow, and I would be like, yeah, April. What do you do? How April works.
Sure. Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm not kidding. If it snows sometime in the next 2 months, I'll be like, yep. That's how we do.
That's what we do. All right.
Catch me by surprise. Nope. No tricking me. Not after being here for as many years as I've been and been living here. Yeah.
Well, fair enough. If it snowed here tomorrow, I would be very surprised.
Yes. Because your April is not a tricking month, and especially it doesn't give you things you never have experienced in your entire life. So, have you had snow?
Yeah, I've had snow.
Okay.
When I lived up in the Blue Mountains, it snows a little bit there in winter sometimes. Like I was there for like 10 years. I think it snowed 3-4 times.
Okay.
And even then, it would snow at night and it wouldn't stick to the ground. Like, it would just melt.
Yeah.
Like,
You could totally miss it if you just slept through the whole experience.
right. There have been a couple times where I've walked to the train station or something and seen like half a foot of snow still on people's cars, but it's melted everywhere else,
Yeah.
Mm.
That makes sense. So you're like, ooh, snow, and then it's gone.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's snow. I want to grab that and make a snowball for once. And then I'm like, but it's on someone's car, Like,
they probably want it. They want to save it for later.
I mean, look, it's not. I'm not saying that they want it. It's just in my head, it's theirs.
Yeah, no, I get it. You feel like a thief if you take their snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You wouldn't build a snowman off your neighbor's front lawn, would you?
Right.
Yeah.
You wouldn't download a snowman, would you?
No.
Exactly.
Nope.
No.
Of course not.
Cool.
Very.
Well, what's going on in the world?
GSL.
Ooh, we have groups.
No. Well, no. So the qualifiers are done. So we have a list of players who will be sorted into groups, but the groups aren't decided yet.
I see it. Yes, I got it right here.
Mm-hmm. A total of
5
16 players.
5 Protoss, 8 Terran, and 3 Zerg.
Yeah.
Man, all those Zerg Cabal people are very quiet today.
Yeah.
And in general, since the patch launched, honestly.
True. Where are all the Zergs? Like, who are we missing?
The patch nerfed him into the ground, man. It's not playable anymore. Can't win with Zerg anymore. It's impossible.
I mean,
play Terran now.
I mean, we haven't seen anyone switch, but I would like to venture for other answers to where the Zergs are.
I don't know. Where's Ragnarok? He's not good enough. Where's is Nightmare Korean?
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything in a while.
Right.
So what about like
what
Sue?
are you asking him? Yeah, where the heck is? That's a great question. Where is Sue? Qualifier.
Did not make it out of the qualifiers. This is the answer.
Okay. But who did he lose to? Let's find out.
It's an excellent question.
Did they give us those results? I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Let me find where Sue is first. There he is. Sue is here. Oh, okay. You can like expand little playoff brackets for each of the groups. That's cool.
Okay. Sure.
If you go to qualifiers on this page. So, but still, having a hard time figuring out where Sue is.
Yeah, because if it doesn't say he advanced, it's okay. He's in Group B.
He's buried.
He lost to Nightmare. No, I see B. Or did he drop down?
He's also in C.
Sue?
Yeah, Sue.
I see
Looking
Sue.
at 2023 GSL League Season 1 qualifier.
2023 Global StarCraft 2.
Played
Season
online
1.
April 10th and 11th.
Yep, that's what I've got. If you scroll, okay, there's 2 lots of groups, so I'm looking at day 2. So
okay, I'm on day 1.
Okay,
so day 1, he makes it to like the final and loses to Maru, which is no shame. You should still qualify if you get through and lose to Maru. But then day 2, it goes poorly for him.
Yes. So day 2, who does he lose? Nightmare.
B, and Nightmare takes him down 2-1.
Yeah, and then he's just out.
Yeah.
So what I think it is, it might be GSL's new format, which I don't know that we've talked about here, because it is much reduced.
Truth.
Yeah. The fact that it's only 16 players in the season, like in the actual season, and it's just 2 rounds of groups, and then semis, and then instantly into the finals. It is so reduced.
Yo. Not wrong. So yeah, so this day 2 groups, Keen wins, Creator wins, Nightmare, Solar, Ryung, and Innovation. Solar's the only Zerg player that won anything in day 2. Holy crap.
Yep. What happened to DRG?
Sue beat him.
Sue beat him? Okay. No.
Yeah, Sue.
DRG beat Sue.
Oh.
No.
I'm day 1, Group C, Sue beat DRG in the upper bracket semifinal. And then
in the lower
bracket, DRG took him down.
This is stupidly confusing to work through.
It
Like,
is.
just show us the proper frickin' brackets.
I know, right? Okay, so Sue beats him, but then loses to Maru, goes down to the lower bracket. play against Dongregu, who worked his way back through by beating TY, and it really doesn't help to have a player here whose name is literally Korean characters. How
That's
are we
true.
allowing this exactly? Who is that? All right, whatever. DRG beats him too. Or her, for all we know about this mystery player.
Sure.
And then Dongregu beats Sue to qualify.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that Sue has to compete in day 2, where he gets beat by Nightmare. And then Special 2-0s him in the loser's bracket. Whew. Okay, fair enough. I guess if you can't beat Nightmare and Special, you probably don't deserve to qualify for GSL. That is a tough day.
Yeah. Okay. The Korean name, I googled it. It has a Twitch account. Has 194 followers. So that made me excited. Like I could work out who this is. But the only English on their page is a picture of someone looking sad, and it says Sue lost again. Right? Other than like donate me at PayPal. So I don't know who this is.
So I searched the characters in Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they have their own page. They just exist on other people's pages as being recent matches for them. Or like as part of a qualifier. They're in a 2016 Star League Season 2 qualifier.
Okay.
But apparently hasn't done anything ever to generate their own Wikipedia page.
Right. That's weird.
It's really weird.
I don't like it. Make it stop.
I don't either. We should complain about that. Have somebody figure out who that is for us.
Yeah, you know people at a Freako.
Yeah.
Make him pick an English name.
Right? How is this allowed?
I'm not watching StarCraft to learn foreign languages. God.
No. Can you imagine if everyone just went under their Korean character names? How everybody would be like, what? I think maybe we'd get it eventually, but I think it'd be difficult.
Probably, but I mean, learning a Korean name is not hard.
Yeah, but I mean, when you have 50 names you have to recognize.
Right.
Because you could narrow it down based on whether they're Protoss, Terran, or Zerg. So I mean, that's
yeah,
something.
That's something. That's something.
Who's Jinio?
Jinro?
Nope. He qualified in day 2 maybe didn't qualify. Hold on.
He lost to Inno.
Yeah.
Yeah. No idea.
He is a 20-year-old Terran player who played for Club Envy last.
Oh, okay. Club Envy, not Team Envy.
That's what it says. I don't know what Club Envy is. He's made $1,000 playing StarCraft.
Yep.
All right.
3 of it was this year. Good for him.
Yeah.
Who tracks a $3 pay? Like, what tournament paid out $3?
Yeah, great. I know, right? I mean, I don't know. Who would do that? It seems more insulting than anything else. It's like, just send me home. Well, I don't want $3.
Pay for my bus ticket, thanks. I mean, look, if you've got a little cash cup tournament, send me an email. If someone is earning $3 from participating in your tournament, I will donate to your prize pool. That is embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically like, here's a nickel, kid. Thanks for playing. What with inflation and everything. All right,
sure.
Cool. So, classic creator, hero, nightmare stats. Bunny Byun, Kirigumio, Innovation, Keen, Maru, Ryung. And then Dark DRG Solar. What about Rogue? Did Rogue play?
Rogue's in military.
Oh, right. He's militarying it.
Yes.
Stats is back. Where's Stats? Oh,
he's in there.
I said his name. I literally said his name. Stats and Innovation are both back. Isn't that wonderful? I think it's wonderful. That is
wonderful. Yeah, good for him. Yep. Which means we have 3 of the 4 horsemen because TY did not qualify.
Come on, TY. TY's been playing StarCraft 2. No, Brood War. He's been playing Brood War. That's the rumor that I heard anyway.
Well, I think Brood War GSL, what is it called? ASL, makes more money than GSL does now, like for players, like if you win. So
interesting. Good point.
because
It
along
is
with
a good point.
along with the reformatting, the entire yearly prize pool for GSL is now equivalent to one of the old seasons of GSL. So it's a reduction in prize money by like 2/3.
Yeah, big chunk.
Yeah, and there's no more super tournaments or GSTLs. I think there is still a super tournament coming. There's some other ancillary tournament, but I don't think it's GSL versus the world. That's what's not happening anymore.
Oh, that's too bad. GSL versus the world was fun.
Yeah, yes, it was. Pull one out.
Definitely. The times are changing. It's true.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all that's happening in StarCraft.
Yeah, it's all the StarCraft, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we could cover what was happening in the 1,000 ESL Open Cups every week, but
someone came into the Discord server the other day and was like, "Dark just got wrecked by some unknown player."
Mm-hmm.
Did you figure out what that was? They didn't respond to your question, I don't think.
I didn't check to see if they had, and I immediately forgot about it.
Yeah, it's been on my mind a little bit because I'm like, so let's look at Dark real quick.
Yeah, let's look at Dark.
Dark recent matches. Eric 2. Oh, it's a ZVZ. I don't even care. You know my thoughts about ZVZ. I could beat Dark in a ZVZ. It's a bullshit matchup, which is garbage.
You couldn't.
There is a greater chance I could beat Dark in a ZVZ than in any other matchup against anyone else in all of StarCraft.
I will bet.
Sucks.
I will bet you could not take a map off Dark in a best of 69.
You're right. I'm just saying the chance is higher that I do that than I beat.
0 is not higher than 0.
Maru.
0 is not higher than 0.
It is a 0.0001 chance, which means we need more than 69 matches to figure it out.
I would bet it over 1,000 matches. I would still bet you wouldn't take a map.
I think eventually he'd get tired, and I would be able to take a map off of him. He'd be like, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever done."
That's provided you don't get tired.
I don't get ridiculous accusation.
Yeah, you've never gotten tired.
Yeah, so he's in this ESL Open Cup number 170 for the Americas.
Mm-hmm, because ESL Open Cups have no region locks.
Right. Because we're done with that now. Max Pax is here. Gumio's here. It's kind of a fun list of players. Beyond's in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Beyond's
so Dark
winning.
beats Potato Thief, who's a Croatian Protoss that I've never heard of in my life. Eric beats Pig and then beats Dark. Like, best day of his life. Holy cow.
Yeah.
And then Vindicta 2-0s him.
Wow.
But it was ZVZs. Maybe he's got some killer ZVZ build that's just unstoppable right now.
I don't know, but I think Pig plays random, so I might list him as a Z here, but I don't know that he actually was playing Z.
Oh, interesting. I feel like he should represent what race he played during his 2 games with Eric. Why would they lie about that?
Well, because I think you can pick the 2 races. Like, you can swap races, I think, as well. And so if you play random and you get 2 different races, this can only show one color, I think, at a time.
That's
on
a good
player
point.
card.
Yeah, if they allow race switching, for sure.
Right. You know.
Maybe they make half of it one color and half of it the other color. That seems like something they can do.
that would be cool.
That'd be way cool.
The weird thing is, when was these games played? That was like this week, like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I thought Pig was still in Japan. Is he back? Did I miss Pig stream?
Played from Japan. All you need is a computer with internet. Like, not hard.
Yeah, they've got that in Japan. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Anyway, I was all concerned about it until I saw it was a ZVZ. And I was like, man.
Okay. Oh yeah, Pig's
whatever.
Back.
I don't care anymore.
Pig's back and he's streaming right now.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. Oh. Well, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. ZVZs. No bueno, apparently.
No, hate them. All right, cool. So that is StarCraft for the day. So the last episode of The Mandalorian, I just need to get into it.
Sure. This is the one with Jack Black.
Yeah, and Lizzo and Christopher Lloyd. It's like 3 Freaking
I don't know
celebrity cameos. It was too much.
I don't know who
Christopher Lloyd
Lizzo
is
is.
Doc.
I know who Christopher Lloyd is.
Okay. I don't know, man.
Oh god, great Scott.
You could have never seen Back to the Future.
Really? You think that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Anyway,
who's-
I think Lizzo, she's a musician. I don't think she's even an actor.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't think she has any acting credits in anything. So it was a questionable choice, but whatever. I think she was fine, honestly.
I think people have said the same thing about Jack Black at one point.
That he's not an actor? What are you talking about? He's starred in like many movies.
He has now. I said
Yeah.
people could have said that about Jack Black at one point.
Oh, well, yes, you could have said it about anybody, any actor at some point. Because
Right, but
everyone
maybe-
started acting at some point.
Yeah, of course. But like maybe she's getting into acting and you just haven't seen what she's in.
I think she was like, I love The Mandalorian. I dressed up as Baby Yoda last Halloween. Please let me be in your show. And they were like, okay.
Did she?
Because that's what happened. Yeah, she did.
She has been acting since 2014.
Oh, what's she been in? Take it back.
Well, she's been on TV since 2014. Let me rephrase that.
Please.
She's been like hosting and stuff like that, and guest appearances as herself. So never mind. Not really acting.
Uh-huh.
I mean, do you not consider being on the Ellen DeGeneres show acting?
I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she's a pretty famous musician. I mean,
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
4
my
albums.
jam, but I get it. A lot of people know who she is.
Sure. I know who she is now, so
Right.
we'll take it.
Exactly.
We'll
exactly the point. Yeah. So anyway, it's just I don't know. It had a feel of a very much an early season 1 Mandalorian episode where it's very much fetch quest, do this thing to get this thing so you can go here so you can accomplish this thing so you can talk to this person. Like just step by step video game stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, that's what the first season of The Mandalorian was. So it's hard for me to be like, "Ooh, this is not what The Mandalorian is," because it is what The Mandalorian is.
It's not what you want the Mandalorian to be.
I guess so. Season 2 was very much more about story progression and continuity. Season 3 has a bunch of that too. So just for them to like go back to the olden times was a little bit jarring. Anyway, there is a funny moment where Din Djarin gets to kick some droids.
Okay.
So it's an iRobot episode, right? There's all these robots that are supposed to be helpful for people, but some of them are going haywire. And they hire someone who hates robots to investigate. Right? It's the Will Smith iRobot movie.
Oh yeah,
I
I've
guess
seen
not
that.
the book iRobot because that's a different thing.
Right.
The Will Smith movie where he hates robots, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing. Din Djarin hates robots because battle droids killed his family.
Okay.
A reasonable reason, I think, to hate robots. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he's like trying to figure out, okay, which one of these robots maybe is pretending to be good but has really been programmed evil. So he just starts like kicking these robots as they walk past carrying cargo. It's very much the Boston Dynamics videos where they have their robots carrying stuff and they're hitting them with hockey sticks and like kicking them in the legs and stuff. It was 100% just like that. So that was funny. And then one of them like goes nuts and starts shooting at people and like runs away. And it's like, oh, Din Djarin, genius. He uncovered the mystery. Yeah. So long story short, Christopher Lloyd, who's a billion years old at this point, he's a very charming individual, but holy crap, is he old.
Yeah.
He's the head of security and all of these, like he gets to control all these bots and he like programs some of them to go haywire because he's a separatist, like from the prequels. And
Okay.
I don't know what he wants exactly. He kind of starts to give a little speech, and then Bo-Katan tases him, and then he's unconscious. So it's just, I don't know. It's just a little bit unfocused, I would say.
Right. Okay.
And then at the end of the episode, so they do all that so they can go talk to Bo-Katan's Mandalorian army. I say with quotation marks because I think there's like 30 of them.
Okay. Yeah. Strike Force, maybe.
Yeah. Triforce?
Strike Force.
Oh, a strike force. Definitely a strike force.
Yeah.
So they like they're working protection for Lizzo and Jack Black, and they won't let Bo-Katan and Mando see them until they fix this droid problem. It's, again, complete this quest, then you can move on to the next area, right?
Okay.
And so, bottom line, Bo-Katan ends up getting the Darksaber and is recognized as the rightful ruler of Mandalore. But it's all because Din Djarin's like, this one time we were in a cave and this cyber alien defeated me and then took the Darksaber, and Bo-Katan defeated it and took the Darksaber, and now she's the rightful owner of it. The end. And I'm like, so everyone's just supposed to be like, yeah, makes sense to me. Yep, Bo's in charge now. And it's like, I didn't think that was enough. But all the Mandalorians are like, yeah, this is awesome. Thanks, Din Djarin, for telling us what happened. It's just like, but it was so anticlimactic. Holy crap.
I did see some memes over who owns the Darksaber or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it was just Din Djarin's helmet pasted onto Jon Snow being like, I don't want it.
And that's true. Like, he's been carting around the Darksaber for years at this point, and he's just like, I don't want to be ruler of Mandalore. Screw that.
I want a lightsaber, but I don't want to be the ruler of Mandalore.
Yeah.
Because you could have thrown it away at any point. Literally into a sun.
Well, it's that he recognizes it's important to Mandalorian culture, and he respects it.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that he wants to give it to Bo, but you can't just give it to Bo. It has to be won in, like, actual combat.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Din doesn't want it means that he and Bo can't fight, because he'll just be like, oh no, I've been defeated. Oh.
So she can't just murder him and take it and be like, I killed the last ruler. I mean, that kind of cuts the story short, but it is an option, right?
I hadn't thought about that. That's kind of a great idea, actually.
Oh, God.
He'd fight for his life. Like, she was coming at him like, I'm going to kill you. Like, then he has to fight, right?
I think the way, like, season 6 or whatever will end, right? Because they're going to milk this thing for as long as they can, is Bo-Katan finally goes, all right, I'm just going to, like, try and kill him and take it, right? Does kill him, takes it, is crowned the queen, but then Grogu kills her, and he gets it.
He gets revenge for his dad. I like this idea a lot, actually. That's great.
Yeah. And then he gets to rule Mandalore.
And that's how the show ends. Grogu is the king of Mandalore. Holy smokes.
Yeah. Hire me,
I'm on
Disney. I'll be your writer.
Seriously, Jon Favreau, email this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Hit him up on Twitter. I don't know how we do this business deals anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know how we start. So I was just looking at Christopher Lloyd. He is 82, I think it said 86, something like that.
He's only 82?
Yeah.
He looks like he's at least 90, 95 even.
Right. But I looked up how old he was in Back to the Future, because it's where he plays like professional old man, I think. He was 47.
Oh my gosh! Doc Brown was 47 in Back to the Future. He's got the, like, super white hair and the wrinkles and the lines.
Mm-hmm.
He just got old fast, man.
Michael J. Fox is now 61.
Yeah.
So he could have played Doc Brown 20 years ago. Well, 13 years ago.
See, but he's got the youthful look. It's like Paul Rudd doesn't age. Keanu Reeves doesn't really age. It just they take all of the youth of Christopher Lloyd and suction into their bodies. That's what's happening. Christopher Lloyd is the sacrificial lamb for Hollywood. He's looked like he's 80 for 40 years now.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true.
Hilarious. 46.
He's Hollywood's Dorian Gray for other actors. He's their portrait.
He is. And he's in this episode and he's sitting for most of it, and I'm like, that's probably good. He probably can't stand for a long time.
Right.
But then he has to, like, stand and give his impassioned speech, and he's, like, holding onto the chair, and I'm like, oh my gosh. If he falls over, he's gonna die.
I hope he
hit his head.
hope you made $10 million and can retire tomorrow. Like, finally, just be like, all right, look, you've got all the money you're going to need for the next 6, maybe years of your life. All right, just please sit down and stay there. Like, just relax for a while. You've earned it, Christopher.
I know. I hope he's not working because he needs money. I hope he's working because he's like, this is fun. I like doing this, right?
Well, right, but the problem is you can't, you're limited to what you can do as an actor. It's like, oh, I want to do it because I love acting, and all you get to do is like sit in a chair and maybe stand up and give a speech. Like, don't get me wrong, you can definitely like have roles, and you should definitely be doing stuff like that. But whenever I think of The Mandalorian, I'm like, if you love acting, do you really want to be in a heavily green screen environment, sitting down, talking? That doesn't feel like you fit in the world, and you're doing it because you love acting, you know?
Or he loves Star Wars. Maybe he's a massive Star Wars fan.
Maybe.
And he was like, please, I want to be in The Mandalorian. And they were like, all right, I guess we can put a role for you. Right?
Yeah, I suppose. He's
like, I'll do anything. It's like, okay, so you sit in a chair, you give a speech, and you're done. It's like, okay. Oh, you get exiled to a moon. Forgot that part.
Okay, sure.
Yep. Exiled to a moon.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, and then, so the other thing is they keep referring to this Mandalorian fleet that Bo-Katan like cobbled together from stolen Imperial ships and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so they show it in this episode, and it's an Imperial light cruiser, which is like a baby Star Destroyer, and like 7 troop transports. And a couple fighters. And
they have 7 troop trants for their 30 warriors.
Right.
Everyone gets their own drop ship.
Buddy up. 2 of you per ship. Yeah, and they keep talking about taking back Mandalore, but every time we've gone to Mandalore this season, it's empty. Nobody's there. There's some wildlife hiding in caves, but there's like no one set up shop at this place because the Empire glassed it. So it's like,
what are you retaking?
They keep talking about the Mandalorian army and the Mandalorian fleet and taking back Mandalore, and I'm like, none of this is what you're saying it is. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Maybe there's a second Mandalore and they're going to go take that.
They're talking about Mandalore Prime.
Yeah, what you've been looking at is the outer moon of Mandalore, also known as Mandalore. But
it's easy to get confused. It happens all the time.
Yes. It's in the Mandalorian solar system, the segmentum of Mandalore. You know, located in the Mandalorian cluster. You know, like... You just keep changing what Mandalore is, and eventually you'll find a verdant planet where there's people and an economy to run. And benefit for the Mandalorians to take back.
No kidding. Like, I get the symbolic importance of their home planet, but, like, it was glass.
Right.
I don't think you're growing crops there anytime soon, guys.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. That's what they've been talking about this all season, so they have to do it.
Do they?
It'd be so funny if they're like, yes, remember the Empire presence on Mandalore that we haven't ever mentioned once all season? That's who we have to defeat. It's like,
So,
okay.
So they're taking it back from the Empire.
Maybe.
Because, like, when you said we're going to take back Mandalore, I assume from the New Republic. Like,
that's my point. Nobody is there. It was glassed. Nobody's occupying it. Mandalorians were killed or escaped. That's what happened.
God, I really hope someone in the writer's room just forgot that it's glass. And they're going to turn up there and someone's going to be like, oh, by the way, it was glassed. We need to pretend that this is a big plot twist. And they get there and they're like, my God, what happened to Mandalore? And like, it looks like it's been glassed a minute ago. You know?
I don't know. The writing staff for this show is not the greatest. It's fine.
It's
fine. The Mandalorian is not Andor. It's not high level stuff, and it's not supposed to be. I would like you to be consistent in the plots you give us. That's all I'm asking for here.
You've been asking that from Star Wars for a long time.
I know. Andor is great though. Andor is so good.
It's good. It's not perfect, but it's good.
Nope, it's not perfect, but it's good. Anyway, should we talk about bad anime now?
Oh, did you watch the recommended bad anime I mentioned on stream?
I certainly did. I don't know what it's called.
Working for God in a godless universe or godless
That's
world.
Not as bad as I thought it was. Fair enough.
Still,
Yeah.
I mean, the name is not nearly as bad as the show actually is.
And the name's not as bad as other names of shows that are 27 words long and give you the entire first season in the title.
Yeah. Accurate. Yes, true.
Yeah.
Anywho, sorry, I was trying to bring it up.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It started off interesting, I would say. Your protagonist is a typical, like, bored, disillusioned teenager whose dad is the religious leader of some crazy cult of literal giants.
They're not giants. They're just buff dudes.
You think so?
I think they're just buff dudes. They're just like, we like working out and worshipping this guy's son. You know?
I mean, it's a lifestyle.
It's a life choice.
Are you sure? Because they're carrying him in that basket thing, right? At the start of the episode.
Yeah.
And it really seems like they're 10, 11, 12 feet tall.
No, because he does like later he has like flashbacks to just like going to high school or whatever.
Yes,
and that's just regular Tokyo.
Those people are
Japan, I should say. So, but if that's supposed to be the quote unquote real world, we don't have giants. And those
Who
are just
says it's supposed to be the real world?
Contextually within the flashbacks.
Well, the first thing they give us are literal giants. All right,
they're not literal giants.
Crunchyroll.
Do I need to pull up a screen tab? All right, I'll load it up.
I will.
Also, I will say, however, the length of the episode title makes up for the relative abbreviation of the show's title. Episode 1, we know we are not worthy, O great Lord Mitama. Please purify us. Please cleanse our Lord. Please cleanse us, Lord Mitama. We beg for you to hear our prayer. That is the name of episode 1.
Okay, all right. So here's a good shot. So it's like a side shot.
At what time? Give me a timestamp.
I mean, literally 18 seconds.
18 seconds.
It's just a big wide shot of all these buff dudes, and some of them are carrying our protagonist in a.
If they're giants and our protagonist is a regular sized man, they don't need 4 people. He is.
I'm not saying they're like 100 feet tall. It's not Attack on Titan.
I'm
bigger than average dudes.
They're not giants. Like Aki agrees. Aki agrees. Not giants. They're not bigger than average. They're just buff.
All right, fine.
They're just buff.
I guess I was thrown off because like the first scene is like a foot smashing into a puddle, and I'm like, there's nothing for scale here, but it looks like a really big foot.
Nah, they're just people. Like you can
describes his dad as the founder of the sketchy looking sect.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I like that they don't throw him far enough to splash him into the water. They bounce him off the cliffside.
Like, what if he hits his head on a rock? This whole thing kind of falls apart.
Well, not really, because they're straight up murdering him anyway. You know.
I know, but he's supposed to like be drowning and call upon their god and be saved. If he just like gets knocked unconscious immediately, he can't really do that, can he?
No, but a mild concussion might induce hallucinations, and you know, that could be part of the plan. People do a lot of like hallucinogenic drugs in their religious spirit visions and stuff.
True. Yep. I like how his dad has like these rose-colored like Beatles glasses, like John Lennon glasses for some reason. It's a weird detail, but I kind of like it.
He's got surprising style for a man wearing a sash, a necklace, and glasses.
Yeah. Well, he's incredibly ripped. Like that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he bounces. Anyway,
he wakes up in another world via a resuscitation method I would not recommend giving to a stranger.
A vigorous and fast hand job. It is not gentle at all.
Because she
is working it.
Yeah. Yes. She believes she has a book of first aid or spells to invigorate the human form. I'm pretty sure it's just a Kama Sutra book.
Probably.
Probably.
Sure.
Probably.
Based on the context of the show.
Based on the context of the show. She then looks surprised at the end, like, oh, he woke up. This is not what I wanted. Like, what? Like, what was she expecting? Because she says she was trying to help him, doesn't he?
Yeah. I think she says I was trying to revive. This unconscious dude washes up from the river in her village.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so she's trying to fix him. He's unconscious.
And then she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and she's like apologizing for saving his life.
Right.
I mean, she didn't save his life, but
well, I figured his reaction was startled and like, am I being raped enough that she's like, oh, that was bad. That's why she's apologizing. It's more what he did than anything else.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets invited to come back to the village and goes through the usual gambit of I'm a protagonist who has read anime. Like, it's a self-aware isekai this time around.
Right.
As it is occasionally and often. And is expecting to go to the Adventurers Guild and pick up a quest to gather some herbs or something, or fight goblins, to find himself plowing fields and cutting grapes, harvesting grapes.
Right.
Which they grow an awful lot of grapes for people who didn't know you could make wine out of it.
It's true. They just have a lot of grapes. I guess they have it with every meal or something. Grapes for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Maybe.
Delicious. Yeah, but you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's, again, just kind of fully expecting
to be...
That's the whole conceit of the show. Is like, he expects he's been isekai'd.
Mm-hmm.
But...
He has.
What if he did just wash up on the shore of some other part of this big world that has lots of different stuff going on in it?
No, he has been isekai. He is in another world, right?
But based on what?
Based on the fact that they don't know what gods are.
Okay, but again,
based on the
world is a big place.
Okay, sure. People who don't know what wine is but have canvas overalls and steel belt buckles. So
you're saying where he ended up was weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
The giant alien-looking city at the capital.
Yeah.
That's not Earth. This guy's from Earth.
Is he?
Yeah. What we've been shown.
I didn't assume he's from Earth.
Oh, in an isekai, the protagonist is always from, unless explicitly told otherwise, is Earth. Like, he is just a traditional dude from Japan.
Traditional dude from Japan.
Well, the dude from traditional Japan is what I meant to say. But
fine.
Yeah.
But, I just found the cult of incredibly huge buff dudes with their charismatic John Lennon glasses leader to be a little out of the ordinary for Japan.
Sure, right? Japan has a bunch of religious crazies and stuff as well. I've watched Abroad in Japan, and he was cycling across Japan and got pulled over by a woman in a car who was like, "Hey, do you want to come back to our tea party? Because having a foreigner would be super good." But once you get there, apparently they just press you into their cult.
That seems real bad.
Yeah. So they it's the style of the show is not this person was a normal dude, but he was from the normal world who just happened to have a cult leader for a dad and grew up doing cult stuff
and getting the crap beat out of him.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And then we see the beasts so
that's true.
Uh-huh.
All right, fair enough. So he comes from a normal world with very abnormal circumstances.
Yeah.
And goes to a world that is kind of medieval and has giant non-earth beastie things.
Yes. What do they call them? Weird beasts, strange beasts.
Yeah, strange
beasts. Yeah. The strange beasts. They didn't want to animate, so they used CGI. Like they didn't want to hand draw. Which there are a lot of shows out there that are like, we need to save some money on this dragon. How can we do it? Let's make it CGI, and it just looks awful.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it does not
that little
fit.
fox beast that they show a couple times early in the episode outside of the inn or whatever is CGI.
The fox?
Yeah, there's this little creature that they show in transitions.
There's a scene where he picks up like a dead rabbit.
For that, when they show external shots of the inn, there's usually like a little creature down there that's definitely CGI'd.
I will have a look. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a Vulpix for people who want to know what it looks like.
Exactly.
There's a Pokemon sitting out the front of this structure, this inn.
Bingo.
That is very CGI. And it probably just sits there. Doesn't do a whole lot. It might move a little, but they need it. I mean, that's the thing. Like they're going to cut corners like that. And then they're also reusing all those shots, like the external shots, probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he ends up in a world that it's isekai too, but it's incredibly boring. They farm, they harvest grapes. He teaches them how to make booze, which is fun. It seems like everybody in this town is a teenager or a young adult, like maybe 23, 24. There are no old people anywhere in this entire place.
Yeah, which didn't
never comment on.
No, well, there is one dude who looks a little old, like he's got some like wrinkles on his face, but he's not like grandfather. I'm looking at a scene where everyone's like cheering him in the and drinking. Yeah, everyone is young except like a couple of people who are, in terms of anime, it probably means they're in their 30s.
Right.
Yeah. So I didn't even question that. But now that you mention it, it does make sense.
Yeah, I mean, again, based on the world that they're in, there's no fear of death, right? So at some point, the government decides that your time is up.
Well, I think you've skipped a second here because they go to the capital, but everyone's like giving them shady looks. Yeah, and he's been told don't talk to anyone from the capital if you can avoid it. They don't. They kind of don't.
Say after they're deep inside the capital. Maybe mention that on the way there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. And then we see a public execution, and
public government-assisted suicide is what it is.
Right, but there are people behind them with halberds. It's like, if you don't drink, I think, so that's when this show was like, oh, maybe this is getting good. Maybe this is doing like a plot twist, and it's not just like the horny, shitty isekai it pretended to be for the first 10 minutes.
Right.
I'm like, okay, so there's something going on here. There's crowds of people watching people drink poison. What's going on? We've been told not to watch. We've been pulled along to a black market dealer who sells smut.
Right.
And then they leave. Like, no biggie. They just leave.
Yeah, nobody accosts them. Nobody tells them they can't leave. Nobody yells anything at them. They just get some dirty looks and then they leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're told.
And then it's explained. Yeah.
That people who. Everyone should be willing to just die on a whim. Like, there's no fear of death. It's your civic duty to commit suicide at some point. The reasons for why are not yet explained. It could be an age thing. I should have a look at those people drinking to be like, are they old?
Right.
But it goes into it, like, instead of it being colorful, it's all very contrast and shadows. So, which is nice from an artistic standpoint. Like, they actually played with the medium a little. But no, those are young people that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Not like kids, but,
Yeah. So the overarching policy in this civilization is you cannot be afraid of death. And when the government calls you and says it's your time to die, you die.
Yeah.
And if anybody expresses concerns about this or rebellion about this, we kick them out of town and send them to this small village and make them farm for a living.
And you brand them as well. Like, the chick's got a brand on her shoulder.
Mhm.
But instead of just getting to live out their lives in an isolation camp farming, they can be summoned and executed at any time.
Right. So what's the point?
Just kill them.
Yes. If you're going to do it anyway, like just as soon as anyone expresses concern about this and you're going to exile them, save time on the exiling and the branding and just kill them.
Well,
It makes no sense.
I assume that they want people to do cheap labor, so it's farming. But you have to kill them every now and then, otherwise they won't have the fear of you. They'll just be like, what are you going to do? Kill me? Ha ha ha.
Well, except they said, we made too many grapes. We just have to throw these ones away. Instead of, we're sending all of this to the capital because they need our surplus. Right?
Yeah, well...
They're farming for themselves. They're not farming for anyone else.
That's true. But why did they go to the capital in the first time? I assumed it was a crop delivery.
They went to the capital because they wanted the sex book.
I thought that's just what they were doing on their own time while they were there.
Did
that makes
see
sense.
Them carrying anything else?
Well, they went in a carriage, didn't they? Like, how did they get there? I'm 90% sure they went in a carriage because they go in a carriage the next time when they're like chasing it down. They take the wagon. Surely you would fill it with stuff, right? I don't know. It's weird. They're just like.
At no point do they express that they are giving tribute or whatever to the capital.
Right. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, probably. I mean, it makes more sense to be like, okay, these people are farming for a purpose, like they're slaves essentially.
Totally.
And then every now and then they just kill a random person to be like, haha, keep in line, you know.
Or two.
Yep.
Like they took the sisters.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, it's weird. It's a really weird setup.
It is weird. And it's interesting. And that's like the highlight of the episode because it's like, oh, this is almost a good show at this point. Right? Like there's intrigue and mystery. Everything's just a little bit off when you think about it. And then, you know, the two sisters get taken for execution. Protagonist dude whose name we don't know. I can't remember his name. Do you remember his name?
Please hold. It's like one of the first lines in the whole thing. My son, Urabe Yukito.
I mean, I think it's funnier if we don't know his name. So Kirito here, it says like, I'm not having that, and goes to try and stop this government mandated execution and arrives.
So does the other dude.
Yes. Does he?
Which is weird, right? Dude who gives him the knife and is like, harvest these grapes for us. He's like, he pulls up with the carriage and is like, if we go fast, we can catch him.
Right.
But if he's used to it and he's all beaten down, then he's like, don't bother, man. Like, I guess you can take the carriage, but like, they're dead. You know,
it might just be that these are now people that he likes. Right. Like he gets along with everyone in the village.
Like these sisters are hot. We can't lose them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. So we get that, and we get the really great shot where we're like, oh, it's still a dark shot of the sister looking up at her hanged older sister.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this show might be good. I'm still getting hopeful.
And this dude's like, we don't have time to hang this one. Just stab her. And it's like, wow, you guys are on a schedule.
Yeah. We got 6 other isolation camps to like kidnap people and murder.
I guess.
So Yukito valiantly jumps in to try and rescue the woman. She gets stabbed. He gets stabbed.
The only other named character we have outside of the village.
Yeah.
Some like commander of the guard guy.
Right.
Yeah, just easily dispatches him. Just cuts him right open.
And then he gives himself into religion. Finds God.
Freaking nowhere.
So the first time he died, he didn't give in to the religious cult, but then he sees his necklace that he had given to the girl as like a protective charm or a lucky charm or something. And that's able to finally summon his personal god.
So to back it up a little bit, he was okay with dying to start the movie, to start the show, right?
Yes.
He's like, even if the god saves me, I'm still going to be in this garbage situation where my dad's beating the crap out of me and I have all these stupid responsibilities. This sucks. I just want to die instead.
Right.
So he doesn't even try.
No.
So I guess it makes sense here. He's like, I have people I care about now and I do want to live, and maybe I'll just grasp out for this crazy thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what happens.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, I guess. His god is a child. That doesn't. His god can summon Japan. His god can summon Cthulhu like tentacle monsters and murder everyone. That's cool.
And resurrect people from the dead.
Yeah.
Nice.
Does Mitama resurrect the older sister as well?
I don't think so.
Nope. Too far gone.
Maybe later.
Maybe she very specific.
Right there. They don't leave.
Yeah. Maybe she very specifically can't do broken necks.
Stabbing, slashings, drownings, burnings, all good. Hangings, bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Aki says, yep, definitely got the lowly thing going on for absolutely no reason. Like, you did not have to make you or God in this situation a child.
No. But not a child, Falcon. She's actually a timeless, immortal, divine being. Therefore, it's okay.
Right.
Disappointing. And that's when the show is just fundamentally disappointing.
And you're right. The show goes from this, like, I mean, it's horny and it's kind of stupid and the animation's bad and the story's kind of confusing. But then it goes into like, okay, now we've got a wacky, inflatable, lowly main character. It's like, it totally changes the entire tone of the show. And like,
well,
nothing makes sense anymore.
The tone changes from the wacky kind of horny isekai typical bullshit to, okay, it's like a dark mystery. Like, there's something going on here. Are we going to figure out why? Are they going to, like, he very specifically says, I wish I get reincarnated into a world without gods. Is this going to be like a expose on the nature of man and how we need faith or something? No, it's just going to be a lolly romp fest. Who can do anything, and he's going to be like, I'm going to live here and farm and maybe overthrow the government. That's my... That's what we're going to get. We're going to teach people the virtues of God, start a cult, and like revolutionize the world. And it's going to be stupid. It's not going to be fun.
Yep. No, but the other problem here is, in a world with no God that you just injected an all-powerful God into, what's the conflict? She just kills everybody bad. You win. Thanks for coming. Episode 2 done.
And even then, it's not even a, like, I'm introducing the concept of a god and I have to try and reify it. It's, here's my god. Like, watch her do literal magic. Right. You know? you have
all of our problems immediately.
You have proof of a deity. Like, no one, which is usually the core conflict around deities.
Right.
So, you know... out of all the shows I watched this season, the first episode had me possibly the most hyped in the middle, and then the most disappointed at the end.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That totally sucks.
It sucks. What can you do?
Make Falcon watch it?
Well, I'm making you watch the first episode. You don't have to watch anything else.
Fair.
Yeah.
I just don't know where they go. I really don't know where they go from here. Like, oh no, big oppressive evil regime. Do they have magic or gods? No. All right, we win. Thanks for playing.
Right.
Thanks for coming to our show. We're gonna make wine for the next 7 episodes.
So it's right. Different kinds of wine.
Yeah. I like that the immediate thing these people who have never had wine before do with their wine is make all the dudes make a pyramid. A kneeling pyramid, and then
pour it over them.
Pouring wine over them.
Yeah, at the rate...
Not really. Just most of it's going on the floor.
They are harvesting so many grapes. They're making so much wine.
So their initial impulse is, let's waste this?
I guess. Well, I mean, okay, so 2 things. 1, they now have so much that, like, we have such a surplus of this, it doesn't matter. But It's wine. It'll be better the longer you leave it.
Yes, there is no reason to waste wine. Not a single one. It just it makes no sense. And then wacky, inflatable, lowly god best friend is just like, I don't really care where we go from here. Yeah.
No. I googled how long do you need to make wine, and it's giving me directions from my location to Vineyard Cellars in Abbotsford, New South Wales.
Not what you asked.
Yeah, I know what I mean. Let's try this again.
Yeah.
Wine.
You mean, how long does it take to go from grapes to wine? Like, how long do you have to ferment it?
Yeah. Aging adds 1 and 12 months to that time. Between 1 and 12. Okay. Weird phrasing that sentence. But okay, so he did say he was there for a month, and you can make wine in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like... No, guys, trust me. Like, really, we're going to do this thing, we're going to put it in barrels, and in a month it is going to be awesome. And they're like, are you insane?
Well, they know what alcohol is, so he just says if you put it in a barrel, leave it for a month. After stepping on it a bunch.
Like, I wonder how we make alcohol. They were just like, alcohol exists, we have no interest in this.
Well, they have interest, they just couldn't afford to buy it.
So they think alcohol comes from the store. Is that their problem?
It could be.
Like people that think that hamburger comes from the store, and you introduce them to the fact that it's from cows, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that they know where you can buy smut, but not like a how to make whiskey or something, which is basically the same process. So if they have other alcohol drinks, maybe they've just invented wine in total. Not that wine was too expensive and they couldn't buy it. There was other forms of alcohol. Like they had sake, but not wine. And now this guy's invented wine. Therefore, a pyramid to celebrate.
Yes.
Yeah.
A wine-covered, poured-upon pyramid of random dudes.
That's gotta be sticky.
Yeah. I bet it's a mess to clean up.
Yeah. No bueno.
Anyway. Yeah, super not great. I also like that the one dude went from like, I hate your guts, all these women are mine, to we are best friends in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, huh? Well, you invent wine, a lot of people will become your friend.
That's fair. A lot of time passed. I imagine he was a right dick to him for a good 3 weeks.
Yeah, I just realized this guy's Jesus. He turned water into wine, probably. He has a direct relationship to the god of this world.
That's true.
Yeah.
He gave the people wine from, well, not nothing, but they didn't know it could work that way. It's basically a miracle.
Basically a miracle.
Yeah. Sufficiently advanced technology. It's a miracle to them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like it even less now.
Yeah. He's a Jesus isekai character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, has the whole you got isekai'd but it's boring ever been done before? Because I thought that was interesting. Thought it would be cool, but like it's worse than your original life, sucker.
Yes. So there was a show that came out last season or the season before that was literally called like I got isekai'd but it's worse than before.
That's great. I do like that idea quite a bit. Like, if you're gonna have 800 isekai shows every season, like, let's twist one around just once, please.
Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of twists. Like, there's one that's like, didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? Because she doesn't want to be overpowered, because she was like a really super smart girl at a normal world high school. But unfortunately, the god was a dick and took the word average to mean medium of everyone in the universe, which includes like the dragons and all that. So she's the medium of everyone, which is still OP by standard humans.
Because there's like super intelligent alien races out there.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's pretty good.
No, it's not good.
As far as
as an idea goes, it's very good. The execution is not good. Where is I do. I'm just looking at all the isekais. So there's one called "So I'm a Spider, So What?" A person gets reincarnated as a spider. Very fun show. I can't wait to see where that goes in the next season because I think it's a Crunchyroll original, and they just introduced mechas into the fantasy at the very plot twist. There's oh, by the way, the elves have mechs.
Do the spiders have mechs?
No, maybe.
Oh, bummer.
Plots, spoilers. No, I can't find it because here's the problem: isekai isn't actually a genre that I can search by on Crunchyroll, which makes it annoying. I should be doing this on my anime list, I think. Actually, you know where it would be? Probably on my anime list, because I've probably watched it. Oh, but all the titles are in Japanese, and I don't know how to read that. That's a problem.
Oh no.
Quick, vamp for me while I look for this.
I don't know, man.
That's all you've got?
That's all I got. I mean, we can talk more about Mandalorian stuff.
Okay.
There's a theory out there that Baby Yoda's not even supposed to be in this season. He was supposed to be studying with Luke for season 3 of The Mandalorian, but then they needed to fix the Book of Boba Fett, so they brought him in to fix that. But now he's in the show, and they're like, we don't know what to do with him. And there's one episode where he rescues Din. He actively is a part of the plot once this entire season, and the rest of the time he's hanging out. He's hanging out. He's eating. He's just there, and doesn't really have anything to do. Which is another problem with the season, is that people are like, what does Mando want? What does Din want? For seasons 1 and 2, he wanted to find a teacher for Grogu. And then he did, and Grogu was like, I'm out, and comes back to Din, and now Din's like, great, I'm going to hang out with, that's what I want to do. I want to hang out with Grogu. It's not a motivation. It's not a goal he's trying to reach, you know? And same thing with Grogu. He just wants to hang out with his dad and eat stuff, which is not compelling TV.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for Din. I hope the next 2 episodes give us something for him to do.
It might have been a manga that I read, because I can't find it. So now I just gotta look through my library on Google Play Books. Because there's also a shit ton of trashy isekais there. I Shall Survive Using Potions, or Magic in the Other World is Too Far Behind.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Treat magic as science and then make everyone else shit at it. It's great. What a great twist. Sorting by not started, that's a problem. I was I swear I had more. Late Start Tamers, Laid Back Life, Lazy Dungeon Master. The Combat Baker and the Automaton Waitress.
The Incompetent Baker?
No, the Combat Baker.
Combat Baker. Yeah, that's something I've heard of before.
Yep, me too. No, can't find it here. Loner in Another Life. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Descendants of a Bookworm. Faraway Paladin. Reborn in Another World as a max level wizard. Can't find it.
Okay.
I swear it exists.
What's the gist? Just like one where you get isekai'd and it sucks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I can now picture the show. So the guy gets stuck in a game, and he accidentally kills his best friend in the tutorial, essentially, and ends up with the murderer tag. So everyone who approaches him is like, "Oh, you're a murderer. We don't want to deal with you."
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can now picture it in my head, so it must be real. It must be
probably
real.
Didn't make it up. Probably didn't dream it.
Probably didn't make it up. Although this might just be how new anime start. Or new authors are just sitting around thinking of other things that they're like, I'm like, oh no, I'm pretty sure I read one where such and such happens. I'm like, oh no, I'll just write that. And then at that point, it just writes itself.
Not wrong.
Okay. Full Dive, the ultimate next-gen full dive RPG is even shittier than real life.
Holy cow.
That is the title of the show.
All right.
I gave it a 6 out of 10. Yeah. So there you go. If you want to watch one where you go there but your life sucks, that's the one you want.
Deal. I guess I particularly like the flavor of you're farming and it sucks. So like no aspect of it is interesting at all, you know?
Well, there are some that...
You're playing some kind of a game. It's like, all right, it's a game, you know?
Okay, so like if you want sucks by our standards, like there was a show just last season. I can probably look it up. Just about like he gets isekai'd and just decides to farm. Right, that's the entire show is he farms. But it's portrayed.
He chooses it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the alternative there. Because the gods gave him like an overpowered hoe or something. And when he just like he just hits the ground and thinks of tomato, pineapple. It'll grow in that order, you know?
It's not even farming. That's like it's like food generation spells.
Right, but it has to grow, like, and then you have to harvest it. Yeah, it grows much faster than normal, but
yeah, at that point, I don't think it's growing anymore as much as just being spontaneously created.
Right,
different thing.
Yeah,
that's all. All right, cool.
Yeah. Was there anything actually good out that I'm watching in this new season? I don't think there is, which is, I mean,
it's not good.
It's oh, actually, there was a show that I watched yesterday that I did enjoy. It's called Dead Mount Death Play.
Okay.
So the synopsis is basically the battle between the legendary hero and the necromancer rages through like time and space. And so I was looking at that, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. But it opens up with like the hero going in to kill a necromancer who's like taken on the form of like a giant spider corpse skeleton thing.
Sure, classic.
It's called the Corpse God, and then at the end, a magic spell gets cast and reincarnation happens. And I don't want to spoil it because the first episode's kind of fun. God, how do I sell it without? It's got a twist. That's what I'll say. There's a twist. Somewhere in there, and I didn't see it coming, but I knew something felt off, you know?
Yeah. I get that.
But I actually enjoyed the first episode, because it's a reverse isekai where someone from a fantasy world gets isekai'd into our world.
Ah, okay. Reverse isekai.
Reverse isekai, which actually in technical terms it's still just an isekai, but reverse isekai for the purpose of understanding.
It explains it a little bit better than what it is. Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's on Crunchyroll, so feel free to watch.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll check it out.
Yep.
All right, good. Well, I gotta go make sure the kids did their homework, so I gotta wrap this thing up.
Okay.
Well, thanks everyone for hanging out for another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour with Somicron. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. You can support the podcast directly at patreon.com/Falcon Paladin. /Somicron. I went into autopilot there.
271 episodes, and now you're finally shilling for yourself.
I know. About time. And also FalconPaladin.store. You buy the merch there. It supports the pod too. So,
yep.
All right. If you like listening to us talk about pop culture stuff, Mandalorian, terrible isekais, movies and video games, and StarCraft 2, then feel free to support it that way. And yeah, that's going to be it. We'll be back Tuesday here, Wednesday in Australia. We also post the VODs out on youtube.com/@Somicron. So
it's true.
Thanks again for hanging out with us. And until next time, as always, stay safe.